guys can see me yet? Yay or nay? No, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, there's some people that can see me. What's up, guys? Well, you can see my room set up, so that's a good sign. I'm just trying to get the first live set up here. Sec here. What's working over here? All right, cool. Well, it's weird. On my side, it shows that you guys see a black screen. So I'm glad you guys can see what's going on. All right, well then, yeah, I guess we'll just make sure everyone can, yeah, we got 10 people viewing. One sec here, guys, sorry. See your charts and trading view. Cool. Okay. All right. So we got that figured out. Sorry, guys. The Streamlabs required me to create a whole separate ID system in order for me to connect live properly. So, all right, cool. So we're basically, our goal today is just to find a good first trade in for the 50K challenge. Ariel is still on the previous one. Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. Let's make sure that the community knows that there's a new one. All right, cool. All right, you guys ready to go soon? All right, cool. I just sent everyone out the link in the community so they can jump on board if they want to. All right. So this is going to be, yeah, this is the first live I've done on YouTube probably in my entire life, so bear with me. And I used to do like live on Twitch a long time ago, sharing my screen and stuff like that, but that was like before InvestiShare. All right, cool. So let's go. It's gonna be awkward because I'm used to like talking to you guys in person. I think in the next live event, I'll try to set it up so that the elite members can jump in and join in a live conversation, so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Are you using BitGet? I will be using yeah, BitGet, not Bybit. I'll be keeping my funds on Bybit though, because I plan on getting a sovereign ID, which will allow me to provide KYC even as a Canadian and still be on. It'll work for the US as well, but it's like 280 US to get a sovereign ID. I'm still doing research on it and getting a lawyer to look at it first too, just in case there's any like legal problems with doing something like that. But yeah, I'm mostly going to be trading on BitGet, unless there's going to be a scenario where it's only available on KuCoin, because KuCoin has a lot of trading opportunities because it has tons of altcoins. But our main asset choices for the challenge are going to be based on what's available on the copy trader. So if everyone's busy, you'd still be able to earn if you're like during the day that maybe you're not able to join in on the live event. Cool. Thanks, Robert. You can see and hear me. Yeah, you're okay to use KuCoin. You're okay to use any platform that you want, so long as it's safe to use, and you're good to go. All right, cool. So let's just jump around. You guys can throw suggestions in the chat to find if you think there's any assets out there that we should be looking at together as a group. Until then, I'll just be hunting for some myself and jumping in on them. But move to Poland. Yeah, there's a lot of places I want to move to, but all my family's here. Yeah, I could. Canada might be taking a part of the Caribbean, because the Caribbean's like working to. It's a long story, but yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Be able to go to Caribbean and still be a domesticated flight and stuff like that. All right. Yeah. So right now I'm looking at Matic. There's nothing available right now for a move from Matic. There might be a short-term pump to revisit this downtrend level of resistance. If we break this downtrend level of resistance here, just this momentum shift, maybe create a double top and bring us back down to these levels again. Nothing really to act on right now. 50K incoming. Yeah, 41 trades, man. That's the goal, but it'll probably take 50 to 60 trades to do the whole thing. And as we go through the challenge, we find the form under these millions of tabs I've got here. Where's challenge? There we go. Yeah, as I go through it, I will keep you guys up to date where I'm at with this form here. And if we lost a trade for any reason, we can write down why we lost it, so we can can learn and grow from it, because there's always a learning opportunity in trades. Our goal is to make $18 today. I know it sounds small, but our goal is to make $18 today to complete the first level, and risk to lose $9. So we'll have at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. And that's using about 10x leverage. Unless we happen to find an opportunity that doesn't require us to use leverage, that'd be great. But with the assets that we're going to be choosing, we'll most likely have to use leverage. All right. Become a pirate then. Yeah, I'll do it. All right, guys. Let's dive into it. Let's look for some assets. But first, we have to look and see what is going on with the DXY and what's going on with Bitcoin, because that's going to be our biggest influencers. Yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys jumped in on this, but last night before I turned in for the night, I'll let you guys know that we were at this like level of support. We broke this downtrend level of resistance, and then it started pumping after we honored the support level here. Pretty simple trade. If I were, I didn't, unfortunately, wasn't able to enter off of this, but if I were to enter, it would have been like right after this doji candle when this one closed here. It's a pretty good trade. All right, so Bitcoin is currently hovering at a small area of interest in this micro range. So we don't have anything other than potential continuation patterns to help dictate which direction Bitcoin's going to go. Let's see. Got some... Okay, no bearish divergence there. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on Bitcoin's local support in case we're looking for a bullish trade. It could influence our trade go against us. So if we get a 15-minute candle close below this horizontal level of support here, during those scenarios, if we end up getting this 15-minute candle close below this level, we should be looking for short-term bearish trades with our altcoins because of the Bitcoin liquidity influence. All right, cool. Oh, we already got 58 viewers. Cool. Our first live. We got 58 viewers. I don't even see what's the deal with the 50K challenge. So yeah, willpower. Basically, this is something that we do with a part of InvestiShare, where we basically grow a small account and try to basically blow it up to around 50K. But yeah, this is the first time we're doing it live, just to show you guys what we're capable of and stuff like that. And right now we're looking at this micro range that will influence our trades for the day. All right, so we got Bitcoin's movement logged, so we know we're going to go. What's going on with that? Let's take a look at smaller altcoins here. What do you guys want to look at first? Just type in the chat which asset you want to take a peek at first, and we'll do some TA on it and see if there's any opportunities that are safe. While you guys think of one, I will probably jump on one of the community favorites. Take a look at Gala. Let's see, XRP chart. I'm just looking for the primary. There's my primary chart. All right. Gala USDT. And I'm sorry if I'm awkward, guys, because I don't usually talk to myself in these kind of things. I usually have someone with me talking to me. Let's see. All right, we're still in this range for Gala. I gotta eliminate some of this noise for you guys because some of it's not relevant anymore. Get rid of this. Local resistance. All right, let's pay attention to. So right now we're on the daily. So you don't want a daily close for Gala at 0.0636, or else we can collapse down to 0.3153. So right now we're in a demand zone for a range. So our goal is to be looking for long positions. And the reason why I say we're in demand zones is because we have consistently bounced at this bottom of this area of interest and revisited these highs in this supply zone here where people are consistently selling. So let's zoom in on the lower time frames and look for a bullish reversal. So we did break this downtrending level of resistance here. This momentum, the shift that we were watching before, and we revisit this local high that we were watching as well when we hit this. This is basically the level that I wanted to wait for before potentially entering a long position. And where this little white box territory is, we can expect a pattern of a reversal or a continuation. Let's see. So hourly, we don't really have any opportunities that are available to us right now. We're just caught in this. We had in the lower time frames, we had a double top. And starting to come back down to revisit this point of control. And nothing I want to jump in on there. Let's see, what do you guys got? So are we watching lower time frames like 15 minute? We're going for whatever provides us an opportunity. We don't have anything yet, but if we have to go to the 15 minute or the 5 minute, we will. But our ultimate goal is to look for an hourly confirmation. If we don't have an hourly confirmation, then we'll look and see if the charts will allow a 15-minute confirmation. And I'll teach you during this what time frame, why we have to look at certain time frames before we execute on a trade, because it's all based on the price action history and what it'll provide us. Let's see, so nothing here for Gala, but it is starting to look like it's starting to have a bullish reversal. The momentum's starting to shift to the other side, but right now, short term, very short term, is looking bearish. All right, so let's see what else we got. ARRR, is that a ticker? Pirate chain. Okay. We will probably end up avoiding this one because of liquidity. Just from the name, you can tell. Yeah, look at these little spikes. We want to pick an asset that has a safe amount of liquidity. But let's take a look and see if this is a dying asset that might be something that we jump in on. Sometimes we will look for these type of assets that are just about to explode. Right now, it's in price discovery mode in a bearish sense. It's constantly going to the downside. It's a meme coin, so if you were looking at this asset, so right now I'm on the daily time frame, you'd want to wait for us to break out of this area of interest right here. So if you look at the VPVR, you can see that we consistently honor these support levels and resistance levels. But we break out of this, then you want to, it'd be more of a hold asset. But within this, you want to be looking for long positions at the bottom of the range after breaking downtrending levels of resistance. So here's an example. So we got this downtrending level of resistance that broke. Once you had your first candle close, you can prepare for a long and right to the top. And same kind of scenario here. So we don't have an opportunity yet, but it could be waiting for one. And while you hold, same kind of situation, you want to look for momentum that you can follow. Once the momentum's lost, you get out. Or you zoom in on the lower time frames and you see any double tops near the levels of resistance. That's basically a warning sign telling you to get out. But nothing available for our token. Yeah, it's just a meme. Buy all Pepe, Dino, Pirate Chain, and meme lawn token. Yeah, no. All right, yeah. We're not going to be gambling, guys, so let's look for something that we can trade on. So, let's just look at our InvestiShare list here, assets. So let's check out Cardano. Let's pull that up now. Will this challenge be made live on stream so you can follow along, or will be on Discord channel only? So we're doing it once live. So once we get to 50K, then we're done doing it live. And then we'll just be doing it on repeat over and over and over again within the Discord. But yeah, this is something that we're going to be doing live only kind of thing. And then I will keep you up. If we end up having to close the live, because some trades could take a few days for us to be able to close it. If during those scenarios, I'll try to keep you up to date in the Discord of when we should be exiting and why and stuff like that if we end up exceeding our technical target. Because there's going to be tons of scenarios where we might have a technical target that was hit, but we could have an opportunity to stay in the trade longer. For example, this double bottom, right? We're looking at Cardano right now, and double bottoms are one of the main formations that exceed past their technical target, especially when they're at a strong demand zone. Like this could be the technical target here, right? And we could have continuation patterns after we reach the technical target that bring us to a local level of resistance. So even though this is our target, we could end up hitting here because we haven't revisited and touched this yet for a while. I just wanted to take a look and see why I have that drawn. This is the momentum on the daily time frame right here. And that's why, like, you can see this is actually an example of being able to use time frames to dictate whether or not we should be entering a trade. So here we haven't had a candle close, a full body candle close above this downtrend level of resistance. So we can look and seek for a time frame that will allow us to use a full body candle breakout. So we got the daily thing, we can use a daily time frame. We got the 12-hour. We haven't had a full body above the 12-hour. Let me just fix this really quick. I must have switched from auto to logarithmic and it messed up the chart. There we go. So we can use a 12-hour confirmation. We can't use an 8-hour. So we had full body above the downtrend resistance. So a stronger confirmation for this trend line, for the confirmation of the shift of momentum for Cardano right now is like the 12-hour time frame for this downtrend level resistance. But we should be using this in the lower time frames to dictate whether or not we should be closing our trades early or not, until we get a 12-hour confirmation above this downtrending resistance. Because if we use the full body on the hourly, we could get a fake out, similar to what you see here, right? You could enter here, goes your direction for a little while, and then it goes against you. If you're trading within this range, though, you'd be able to anticipate that a long time ago, yeah, way before it actually happened. So yeah, short term, not really an opportunity available for Cardano. We have this double bottom structure, and it came up as a breakout trader. You could have entered this right around here, and you could have anticipated this resistance from this area of interest wall right here. You probably would see a lot of sell wall activity on the order books as well. And the sell pressure brought us back down, and we might actually get a confirmation bounce as a result. So this is an opportunity potentially for another entry for a long position, but we want to first start shifting the momentum so we start creating a higher high. And we don't have a momentum shift yet. A true confirmation would be a full body above 3902. But at that point, you would miss out on a lot of profits, and your risk to reward ratio would be worse than the 1-to-1. So let's look for another asset, see if we find anything safer in terms of risk to reward. Tron looks like it's the top of its local range as well. Yeah, we did a good trade on Tron yesterday. Let's see. So let's look at TRX to see if there's another opportunity for us. So the daily, it looks extremely bullish, but yesterday we traded off of a short-term bearish activity event. So we go to the hourly. This is what we were looking at. Okay, so oh, it looks like it's trying to create a higher high. We can get rid of this. So yeah, yesterday we were trading off of the 15-minute time frame on this rising wedge structure. Our stop loss was up here, and our technical target was basically met by off by a few microcents. I closed half at a 4.5% gain, and then I got stopped out when I moved my stop loss to break even. Here, yeah, we got we don't need to watch that momentum anymore. And get rid of this noise. Don't need that anymore either. Okay, so we're getting into this range. So I'm just going to zoom out really quick. I just want to see what the strength of the area of interest is here. So this white box here is an area where we consistently see strong resistance and support. and kind of acts like a price action magnet. This area of interest right here. So it's really tough to get out of this. Once we get candle close above this and it acts as support, then usually we seek the next area of interest, which is up here around the first, the value area wall starts around 9 cents, which is a pretty big climb. But the technical target of this formation that we broke out of is way up here around 14 cents. So we have these two walls that we have to break past first before we hit that technical target. But this is like a daily time frame trade. This will take you over 120 days to get to that target. If we go over to the hourly, zoom in, we're trying to get into this micro range. We're about to hopefully get our first hourly candle above this swing high here. So we create a higher high. We can start watching this channel. So we can anticipate some resistance around here if we get this candle close above this level here. Let me get my horizontal ray out. Yeah, so we need a full body candle close above this first to expect it to pump to this level here. And nothing really to act on yet. No. Let's see if we can find another one. Near? Yeah, let's take a look at near. Near USDT. Okay, so it broke its downtrend momentum. Had bullish absorption here, kind of like a tweezer bottom off of this downtrend level resistance for it to honor as support. We're above the local point of control, which is bullish as well. We just need to get back into this acceptance, back into this demand zone right here before we enter. It lost support, so we might actually use this area as resistance. What kind of target will this bring us? All right. You know, there's a couple things we can prepare for with near. So right now it just broke this, this uptrend level support here. It used as resistance, and now it's using this demand zone here potentially as resistance. If it does, then we could prepare for it to drop to the next value area around 1.767. But near, I don't know what the liquidity situation is with near, if it has a lot of Bitcoin pairs or Ethereum pairs, and see if it has its own relative strength or not. With Bitcoin and Ethereum are looking like they're starting to get a bullish reversal. So that could influence near to actually flip bullish. I just need a candle close above this, and we're good to go. So let's set an alarm for this area here to have a 15-minute candle. That's all we need here. It's just a 15-minute candle above this level. Okay, All right, so we have 15-minute candle above this area. We want it to close out of this value area right here, sweep through this valley, and then we'll meet this immediate resistance right about here. So this will be a good trade opportunity. So I'm just gonna, we should monitor this one. Lower time frames, we're breaking this downtrending level of resistance for a potential retest up here. Maybe this retest will allow us to get the entry we need. If we got enough momentum. Enter along with XRP today. Oh, awesome job, man. Let's take a, we can take a look at XRP just to make sure it's still safe. Rose. XMR. Okay, I'm missing some stuff in the chat here. So we got, yeah, we can take a look at XRP first because I missed Tinkerbill's request there. But yeah, Near's looking bullish short term. So if you guys are happen to be in a long on this position, which would be happening in about 4, 3, 2, 1, confirmed. All right, so we just confirmed this downtrending resistance break, and then the next level that you want to look for resistance is up here. And depending on how it reacts to this, you might be able to stay in this long position, and then if this resistance ends up being broken, then you have yourself a good position for a long. I'm going to just take the safe route and wait for a 15-minute candle to close above this area first. All right, so let's look at XRP. We got an XRP chart already, so we just go to that. Okay. Yeah, we broke this uptrend level support. It still has not hit its technical target of the structure break, but we are in a really we're at the bottom of a really important level of support in this macro range, and this interest level, it's going to be hard to break out of, especially to the downside, but we'll see how it goes. So if you entered a long today, good job. We also just broke downtrending momentum for XRP. On the 5-minute and the 15 minutes about to confirm, and about 3 minutes for a long position. Now here is actually something I'd probably enter on. But we just got to be careful with this point of control and this local point of interest here. We want this candle to close above this red line. If it doesn't, we can actually end up keeping it as resistance like we saw here. On our S support as well. If we have candle closes above it, but if we have candle closes below it, it will act as resistance like you see here. So we want this to close above it so we can have a continuation to the next area of interest, which is going to be up here around 46.27. Yeah, stop loss location would be the most recent swing low. So you want it typically below this wick. So if I were to put a long position in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, depending on where this enters, depending on where this closes. So we might have a situation that depending on where it closes, it's going to adjust our risk to reward ratio to make it no longer safe. Yeah, we're going to get a 1-to-1 out of this for, this isn't a guaranteed exit, but roughly around here will be. And this is 0.68. So in a scenario like this, if you don't have a win rate of at least like 60%, you shouldn't be entering this trade. .82% loss for a 8.87 gain. Let's map out the local structure. So we got this resistance level, this support. So the squeeze is going to dictate its exit of this value area. So yeah, our first 5-minute close above this. So if you're entering off the 5-minute, you can enter now. But the ceiling is basically the formation. It's downtrending resistance. So as a range trader, you'll be looking somewhere around here. But if you are someone who's able to map out the formations, you can tell that everyone's getting undercut right now and creating lower lows or lower highs. So just gotta be cautious. So we got a 5-minute close above the POC. 15-minute. We got 30 seconds left. Yeah. Gala, XMR. Yeah, we can take a look at XMR. We already took a peek at Gala. There wasn't anything exciting for Zerk. We can take a look at XMR. We're just waiting on this 15-minute candle close and see what the exit reaction is. The exit reaction looks looking like it might try to retest the POC or get below it. And that will force us to wait. And trying to confirm this double bottom. So we have to wait 5 minutes anyway. So let's look at another one while we wait for that. So Willpower wants to take a look at XMR. So let's take a look at XMR. Just trying to find my primary chart again. Oh, I'm on it. Okay, no. XMR USDT. Double top. Okay. Yeah, so when we lost this momentum for XMR, we came up and confirmed the bullish momentum to shift as a rejection, and now actually this is a great short opportunity that just got confirmed already in the 15-minute time frame. The only concern I have is that we're dancing at the POC right now. When we're at a point of control like this, they act usually as strong support. You can see right here where I got this red line here. It's local support level. It's right where this point of control is for the local price action. Measurable target, it's based off the support. So we got the momentum is basically stating that we're going to go down to about 151.70. What percentage move is that? It's 1%. So with the 100 to 50K challenge, our goal is to try to find a 1% move so we can use 10x leverage and get a 10% gain. So this is be a good trade, but the double tops give us 1-to-1, so we have to be pretty reactional to the momentum shift. So if once we establish momentum, which we can't yet, is too steep of a drop, then we can use that momentum to dictate whether or not we should be exiting the trade early or staying in it longer to give us a better exit control. So right now, I'm going to sacrifice some of the gains to I want just for, if it's just for a millisecond, I want to see price action get below here. There we go. Okay. The leverage is high. Please control the risk. I'm getting this when I put 10x leverage. Anyone else? Yeah, so with your exchange, if you guys are deciding to follow me, make sure you're doing it at your own risk, of course. But if you are deciding to enter a trade, make sure you have it set to isolated with 10x leverage. Do not use cross, or else you're risking your entire account, not what you're putting into the trade itself. But yeah, you might get a warning when you use even more than just 1x leverage, saying that the risks are high. This is Monero. You're going to be risking to, if you enter off a trade like this, you're going to be risking to lose equal to the amount that you're willing to gain. So we need to use the price structure for our stop loss. Yeah, 1-to-1. Yeah, this isn't even a 1-to-1 based on the price structure we got. We got 0.6. Monero's looking like it's going to continue to go down. But you have to look out for local level support here at 152.4 and 151.9. These two areas can interrupt your target. So just be aware of that. If we zoom out, yeah, we're still getting weighed down by this downtrending resistance as well. We're starting to create a descending triangle. Let's see if we can find something else. Rose. Yeah, we'll take a peek at Rose. Yeah, Rose is reaching local resistance right now. And once we got this act as resistance, yeah, just broke out of a lower time frame pennant. So here, yeah, we were kind of late for this party, unfortunately. We had a pennant build up here. Still hasn't hit his target. Let's see if we can find something else. If you're in on that long, since you brought it up, then congratulations, you're doing good. We're just getting above this local resistance, so you might anticipate some resistance right about here. We're getting to the bottom. We're getting to the top of this little micro range. So prepare for potential consolidation, similar to what you saw here. The last time we had consolidation here didn't last very long. It was about an hour, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So you might see similar price action build up here. Here we built a little pennant formation as well, but it ended up creating a neckline to a double top. and broke to the downside. So whatever formation is built here can dictate whether or not you can stay in this trade or prepare for an exit. So if it loses the support level, then you can prepare to exit. If it breaks the resistance, then you can stay in the trade. So this is like the first consolidation zone after this breakout. We need to find something for us to jump on. XRP just confirmed. All right, let's take a look at XRP. Okay, we got support bounce off of here. Yeah, it confirmed this neckline for this double bottom. It's a good catch. Yeah, technically you can enter now. So this one, I'm going to adjust my stop loss to this swing low here. So I got this downtrending level of resistance to flip as support, protect by stop loss. Your goal is to try to find many protection levels as you can for your stop loss. So I got this POC, this support range here, the support level of this formation. We had some dips down below it, so it's not that strong protection, but this is what I'm going to be entering now, guys. So bear with me here. I was just going to pull it up on my other monitor. Sec here. Yeah, I'm going long on this now. Yeah. All right. I'm in on XRP. Now this isn't really going to... So if you're following along with the challenge, what I'm doing is I entered with $90 out of a $100 account. This is not going to get us to our next level, unfortunately. But it's going to give us a start. So with the 100 to 50K challenge, it's going to be 41 levels. We can go over it right now if you like. A sec here. Just going to adjust it to my actual entry. There we go. So this is my conservative target right about here. So 0.56%, 10x leverage for 5%, 5.6% gain. I'm risking to lose the equal amount though. This is not a good practice, by the way. We have momentum that we can follow. So momentum is going to help us determine a potential location to close 50% of our trade. So if we don't maintain this momentum, when we break this, we usually end up either having a reversal or consolidation. This consolidation will dictate whether we stay in it or get out. But normally, 9 times out of 10, when we lose momentum, I always close 50% of the trade, whether it's at a loss or a gain. So I'm aiming to close at 0.4638. Not aiming to lose it, but risking to lose at 0.4586. This point of control here is really important. If we lose this point of control, then the chances of us getting our stop loss hit just basically doubles. All right, so let's see what we got. And yeah, XRP has a decent relative strength against Bitcoin. So what Bitcoin does is not going to matter as much, but does still have a lot of Bitcoin liquidity. So should still be watching it. All right, let's see if we can find. Let's take a peek at Matic. Okay, Matic got rejected off the. There's nothing there. Nothing there yet. It's looking like it's doing a similar pump short term to the resistance. Cardano. All right, looking good for that one. Target's 39.35. I didn't enter this one. Market confluence is important though. Wouldn't it be wise to close the trade if we go under the point of control? You could, but we have our stop loss protected from a local support level, so it'd be kind of an emotional response to close it too soon. All signs are pointing up, so we don't have that much breathing room based on where I put it, but it would definitely invalidate this trade if we hit the stop loss. You always want to put your stop loss in an invalidation point. Okay, so we have some more requests. Pepe, Victor, you've fallen for the Pepe, bro. Okay, we can take a look at Pepe, I guess. A sec here. Rose, still going. Pepe, USDT. Are you using BitGet? Probably, eh? Pepe is consolidating off this point of control. Just had to bounce off of it. Had a double bottom structure, broke out, and it's confirming the neckline. Let's zoom out. This is the 5 minute, so it means not very much. Oh man, yeah. It's in price discovery still. So it recently lost bullish momentum. It had two tops here, so if we confirm this momentum shift as resistance, then we can start tracking whether or not it could break this neckline. But it could invalidate it. If it creates another higher high, then it'll invalidate that altogether. Let's see. Yeah, right now it definitely hasn't confirmed this as a double top. It could just easily be a pennant. Like we did break this downtrending momentum here, so scalp traders jumped in on that once we lost this momentum, and it's pumping right now to the local resistance. But if we can't break this resistance, and we keep honoring the support level, we might consolidate and build a pennant and potentially can have a continuation pattern, but we have no signs of that just yet. Still a valid double top unless it continues past this uptrend resistance. Nothing with Pepe, but that's crazy pump though. So if anyone jumped in on that, that's intense. I stepped away from it. I saw some news about it and I stepped away. But this is a 200. Yeah, that's nuts. I'm just looking at the chat right now. See if you guys. Oh, Python Bird wants me to take a look at. Herb. What's the ticker for that? I don't remember. Yeah, okay, it's Herb. Maybe. Oh, it's Sleeping Dragon right now. If David saw this, he would want to jump on this. Let's see. How old is this? This is very old. 40 days? Oh, on Binance. I'm pretty sure this is older than 40 days, though. Alright, so we got resistance here. Yeah, it's just getting interrupted right now by this local point of interest. All right. Yeah, nothing to act on. 15-minute. What's this gap? This gap is 2% gap. Yep. We had this confirmation bounce here. We basically hit the target, getting in, and got interrupted from this range resistance. Another opportunity for anyone who jumped in on late and did a second entry will be off this additional bounce off this resistance flipping as support. If we break this down to any level of resistance here, you can expect a relatively quick move between here and here. It's about a 2.4% move. Every time we get into this gap value here, the setting gap value, we pump to it pretty quick. So I would treat this like a breakout trade. You do not want to wait for a confirmation bounce. But once we get above this point of control in confluence with the candle close above this downtrending resistance, then you can anticipate a pretty quick move. And once you see like a double top structure like this, or like this, it's a warning to get out. But this could be an early entry for the macro breakout of this downtrending resistance. GPT did a 152% right after I sold last weekend. Yeah, was that on-chain GPT? I looked at that a week ago. It looked like it might pump from hype, but Got to be careful with those assets that are like just born. BLUR USDT. Yeah, we can take a look at that. Well, we've been live for an hour already. Time flies. Let's see. BLU USDT. Oh, Blur. Oh yeah, Blur. Sorry. Let's look at it on KuCoin. Oh, it looks like I shorted it in the past. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Yeah, Dean, you always want to set a stop loss. You can have a limit order if you'd like for your exit, but you should have trend alarms always set to trend lines at significant areas to notify you when you should be looking at your chart. That could influence your trade to force you to close it earlier. And I can show you an example of that with the XRP trade that I just took. So we got this resistance for Blur, this uptrending support. And we've got a heart line right about here. It's not perfect, but this is relevant to watch. All right, so we audited the daily for Blur. Let's zoom in on the hourly, see what it's doing. So we know that we're at daily support right here, so that if we end up doing a short position for any reason, then you know it's going to influence your trade and it could go against you relatively quickly. So short to more dangerous for Blur, and long positions are safer since we're at the bottom of this demand area. So we got just this tight range right now. If you look at the VPVR, you box around the value area. So this is areas where range traders would begin to long, and this is where they begin to short for the short-term move here. At the impulse MACD curling up. Squeeze momentum indicators starting to pump. It's very little though. But for me, for this trade, for Blur, if you want to do a trade on Blur, I would be personally waiting for a break of this, break out of this value area. If we see this act as support, then the next area you want to look out for immediate resistance is right about here. We might see consolidation here and then allow us to continue going towards the downtrend level of resistance here. And we got some local resistance here as well. Not very much, luckily. And that move would be about a maximum of 9.8%. 9.5. But we got a lot of valleys here, so when we get out of this area of interest, it'll be quick moves to each location of resistance. Near is coming to the valley. All right, let's take a look at near then. It's near. If he's going to a valley, that means the move will be happening. A fast move will be happening soon. Let's get, oh yeah, it's creeping up. But what we were talking about, this little, just downtrending resistance at the beginning of the call. And that it would bring us to the top of this resistance. If we get rejected and we get below this point of control, then we've created a double top structure to allow us to short to the bottom of this structure where the support level is. So yeah, we got that pump. But we need to see a full body candle close above this downtrending resistance or fairly horizontal resistance for us to get caught in this valley properly. And this valley would give us a quick move from here to about here. Let me just map it out for those who aren't familiar with the, see how the indicators in sync with price action volatility. It's just, yeah, prepare for fast swing moves. So as a breakout trader, you'd wait for a full body candle close above this, but as a confirmation trader, you might see like a peak right here, right? Some kind of peak here. And confirmation traders would wait for price action to hit that value area peak and cause a rejection and see if the previous resistance is honored as support, and that will give you a better entry. And then you can use the confirmation bounce as your location for your stop loss. But we don't have that scenario here play out. I just want to let you guys know why you would want to use this one for a breakout trade rather than a confirmation trade. Let's see. Let's take a peek at our XRP here. So yeah, we're going up. We're starting to lose momentum though, which isn't great. 4 minute. So I'm actually going to close half, I think, here. Why isn't my, I don't have no indicators up. We're trading this blind. So let's see. We can shift this to here actually. So we had the swing low. Let me undo that for a second. I just want to audit where I had it. Okay, we had the hammer bounce, like dragonfly bounce here. Yeah, I think this is the, see here. Yeah, I'm going to close half, guys. Just give me one moment. I know it's a small gain, but it's better than, you always want to pay yourself as a trader. Okay. All right, half's out. Okay, I got half out. So when you start taking profits off the table, there's a few things you can do. That one thing that I do is I'll measure how much money I've gained from closing half my position. And I'll see, based on price action development, if whether or not it's a good idea to try to sync my current trade to a one-to-one risk management scenario. So we can see we had a confirmation bounce off of this local level of resistance. I closed to gain 0.16% move. So I'll be moving my stop loss to see what it would look like if it was at a 0.16% move. So at one point, 0.17 is probably the safest bet. The reason why I would want it here after adjusting my stop loss is because I still have this value area protection on my stop loss. So the chances of it being hit still is relatively reduced. So you see right about here where this interest wall starts, I have it tucked below it. So I have that as an area of protection. I have this local level of resistance that flipped that support as my area of protection, and I have the point of control as my area of protection. So now, no matter what, I cannot lose money on this trade, and I still have a decent levels of protection of my stop loss. So I can let this ride a little bit further without worrying about losing money on this trade. I basically eliminated my risk. Okay. So let's find something else though. Will this video be available after the stream? It should remain live, it should remain as a video on YouTube forever. The whole purpose of this is to like show the world like that we've done this in the past. So we're gonna go right to 50K no matter what, and then we're gonna save it as a playlist so you guys can go through the very beginning to the end of this whole challenge and see how I was able to build a $100 account into 50K. So you don't have to follow the challenge and actually do the trades, guys. Like obviously there's a financial risk to all of this, but you can use it as a learning experience and see why I'm picking these trades and why I'm adapting the way I'm adapting to my trades, so you can learn and do it on your own if you'd like. So this one is, yeah, we're half out of this trade and would love for us to maintain strong momentum, but I'm going to be changing now that I adjusted my stop loss after the momentum that we're tracking had did a shift. I'm going to adjust my momentum to about here. Because we had this confirmation bounce, typically when you're measuring momentum, you want to wait for the first swing low. And we first thought, based on the price action that we had, that it was going to be a little bit tighter, to be about right about here. But now that price action's developed, we had that strong bounce here. The true momentum now is here. So we can, use this as a tool to tell us whether or not we should be exiting the trade. And if you're a passive trader, you would have an alarm set to this trend line. So this is the new location that you want to wait for a 5-minute close below. And then you can be looking at your chart at the appropriate time and not staring at the screen all day, waiting for the moment where you should be closing your trade. Just wait for the alarm instead. And that way there's a lot of emotional traders out there. I know that for a fact. I used to be one of them. So alarms have helped me from staring at the trades and closing my trades too soon, or FOMOing in, or exiting out when you weren't supposed to, stuff like that. That 50K isn't the reward. Knowing how is. Exactly, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I can't tell you how much trading has saved me. Getting out of that crappy 9 to 5. Okay, so I don't want to stare at this anymore, so we can look at something else, because this is not going to get us from level 1 to level 2. It's probably going to get us about halfway there, unless we get lucky and the 50% that's remaining in this trade ends up being a 50% that stays in during the breakout of this formation. So if we break this down to trailing level resistance, then that'd be great. And then we can add to our existing position. So this is our average here. But if we got a breakout here and we have a confirmation bounce, after that confirmation bounce and we have the higher high, you can add to your winning position the same amount that you have in your existing position. So let's say you have $45 left in this trade, which is how much I've got left in this trade right now. You would put in an additional 45 right about here. And then your new average would be right about here. And you do that when you know you break out of this macro formation to get yourself a way better entry than what you would have if you're someone who was just reacting to it here, and your entry would be here, right? So this could be a trade that you would expect that could last only an hour or so. It could turn into a trade that can last you a few days or a week, depending on whether or not you break macro formations when you first entered. Kyle, thanks for doing this. Insights are very helpful. All right on, man. Glad it's helping you out. And of course, I get rewarded by building a 50K account for myself, right? So even if no one's watching, I'm still earning myself some funds. All right. So if any other assets you guys want to look at while we're waiting for this to do its thing. The momentum right now is not looking good for XRP. We might have to close it sooner rather than later, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, in the next, XRP has to pump straight up within the next 5 minutes or so, or else we're going to go down. It doesn't have very much consolidation room left in this momentum. It's listening though. It's listening to us. Do you have a schedule for those live sessions? So we have, well, this one's just the YouTube one. The goal is we're gonna be doing this on Mondays and Tuesdays around 12:30 p.m. was the goal. It took a while for me to set up today because I haven't done a live in a very, very long time. Yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays around 12:30 p.m. so we can prepare for the PM session of the macro New York session, where there usually is usually tend to have like decent volume like we're having now. So yeah, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, Mondays and Tuesdays for these calls. But if you're a member of InvestiShare, we have 4 other ones throughout the week. Cody, yeah, we can check out Cody and look at Magic. Oh, Magic is one I actually want to like add to my watch list to trade often, because I know Magic is like really predictable. So let's look at Magic, then AGIX, and then we'll look at Cody for you. I think we should be doing this on a separate chart. All right, good. It listened to us. It pumped straight up like we need it to. It's barely maintaining this momentum, but it's still doing it. We got a higher high, which is great for a full body high. So we just need to make sure it maintains this. We're good. So I'm going to move my tab further to the right so I can watch it properly. I'm also going to set an alarm. XRP. Make sure you name your alarms, guys, so you know why you're looking at your screen. So the alert name that I've got here is going to be XRP 5-minute momentum break. And put in brackets close trade question mark. Create. And if you're part of InvestiShare, you will get this alert brought right to the Discord. All right, that's done. And we've got the timer says 3 minutes and 32 seconds. So now let's take a look at Magic USDT. It's combating horizontal resistance. Cool. Oh, it's getting close too. We got a strong value area. So for those who don't know, if you see a strong value area like this, but you still see price action below it, before entering along, what you want to do is look for acceptance back into the range. So once you get acceptance back into the range, then you can enter a long position. A decent example would be right about here, and then you have to watch the point of control to prepare you to close your trade. So right here is the point of control. So you can see how it's constantly honored as support and resistance, right? So this is where you would have to close half your trade roughly. If it starts going back against you, then you close your full trade. You don't want typically to enter down here unless you actually have a formation that you can draw. So here we have a broadening wedge where we can anticipate support bounce. Here we're starting to build a more macro formation. Now, this is going to squeeze us out of the formation though. When you see it start to squeeze towards the resistance and support like this, it means it's basically be forced to move to the next value area soon. Hey, look at that confirmation example. So I can teach you guys about that. So right here, remember when I was talking to you before, if you want to be a confirmation trader, because they typically have a higher win rate than a breakout trader. If you see a valley, but you see a little peak in the center of the valley, this is a location where you can actually anticipate a rejection to come back down and revisit the area of interest to act as support, and you get yourself a better entry. And the momentum shift usually allows us to break and move to the larger value area. And of course, you have technical targets of the formation itself that help you measure that momentum. And you can see it'll bring us right to that next point of control. So a little ways to go for magic, unfortunately. We have to wait. Like, it could break out today. But I think that if we get a rejection here, it'll come in confluence to a lot of the formations that we've been looking at, like XRP, for example. When we visit this level of resistance, it might be around the time where we visit this level of resistance for XRP. But that's not always the case. I take that with a relatively small grain of salt. All right, but nothing to act on magic. Just want to look at the daily. Yeah, it's basically as target. Yeah, it hit this local support. This is a really strong demand zone right now for magic, so I wouldn't doubt it breaking to the upside rather than the downside. But if it breaks to the downside, you have to be very cautious of this potentially becoming a larger double top structure. But that would be a disgusting move to the downside. If that actually honored this as resistance, if we came down and honored that as resistance, it would be a huge move. It would bring it right down to like 74.97, where this consolidation began before it pumped up. And let's see if the measurable target brings us there too. It brings us a little bit further down, but this would actually just most likely act as a brick wall. I would prefer it if we, we stay in this demand zone, we pump, but it's not up to us, it's up to the market. So we react to either the support level being broken or the resistance level being broken. We don't gamble and wait and hope for the best. But I'm anticipating this to break to the upside. Let's look at the next one you got. So let's look at Cody, and then we'll look at the other one, the AGIX, and take a quick peek at XRP. It's not looking good. You can do it, bro. You got 3 minutes before I get rid of this trade, if we don't get back above this momentum. Okay. AGIX. It's just AGI. Yeah, AGIX. USDT. Okay, let's go to the daily. Because I don't think I've ever charted this for anyone before. Oh, looks like I did. Back in March. No dinosaur here. If there's no dinosaur, that means it just means it hasn't been on this exchange since the dawn of its creation. So let's maybe see if we can find another one, because we want to pick an exchange that gives us the most data so we can use it to do proper TA. Let's see, we got gross, 2x long. All right, and just for a heads up, I always try to warn as many people as I can. Just try not to use 3L and 3S tokens, please. You'll get burned. All right, we got this downtrending resistance. We have pretty big gap away from it. We're close to price discovery, unfortunately, for AGIX. in the downside. So if we end up getting a full body candle close below this level here, which we're almost getting, let's see, yeah, we're barely holding on to this historical support level. I say historical, but it's not really that historical. It hasn't been on this chart for very long. Starting to create a parabolic curve. If you guys are familiar with those. It's just another way of measuring momentum. Typically, they are a great way to measure momentum when you have a fishhook formation. If we go to the hourly, see, I wouldn't really, no, this isn't a fishhook, but we're starting to see that shift in momentum. If we broke this down, turning momentum, had it on our support, starting to get a parabolic curve. We got a rejection off of this local level of support flipping as resistance and this point of control. So we'd want to see price action get back up here before thinking about entering along. But from here, if we get a rejection and we come back to this local support level, you can anticipate this turning into an inverse head and shoulders. And then you would have a really good entry. And based on the current price action, you would have a decent price target of around 32 cents. Yeah, 32.5 cents. And it would sweep through this valley and get right to that area of interest, this little tiny wall here. But nothing really to act on now. You can enter in off of the loss of momentum, but I typically would only enter in on a loss of momentum from a parabolic curve if it was aged relatively long. And I can show you an example of that with Bitcoin because we entered off of one around the Luna crash. I think it was, yeah, around the Luna crash. See what you guys got here. And I'm missing one more. I was supposed to check on, yeah, Cody and IMX. Okay. Peek. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we got a high volume candle here. And now that we got price action past the average true range, which is this red line you see here and that shift to green, you can actually adjust your stop loss to wherever the average true range is. So that's what I'm going to be doing actually right now. And we just hit our target. All right, so now you can choose whether or not you want to exit your trade because you hit your target for the day, or we can see how this goes because it's looking like we're getting some strong volume approaching this downtrending resistance. I don't normally like strong volume approaching resistance like right before it because exhaustion kicks in faster and we can get a strong rejection. Well, we're looking at the 5-minute time frame. So this candle may look giant to you, but it's only like 0.39%. We do have a double bottom structure within this. So if we get above this point of control in confluence with this neckline, we could ride this a little further. We got, here's our target, 0.4722. We have local resistance that will likely prevent us from hitting this target, but we're like, I'm just peeking as if we did break this resistance, by the way. This isn't going to happen unless a few other things happen first. We first have to break this downtrending resistance. We first have to break above this point of control. If we honor this as support, then we're definitely going to at least here around 4708. But like I said before, high volume retest normally means we're gonna get exhausted. So I'm gonna close an additional 50% and then move my stop loss to break even. Because the average true range is going to adapt. All right. So I got my, get rid of the scribbles. All right, stop loss, break even. Still barely managing above this momentum here. But we have a look at this sell shadow though. This is we have 45 seconds left for this to close. I would love for it to close above this yellow line, but we had a lot of passive sellers come in. Like when it came up through here, I guarantee you in the order books there was a giant limit sell wall there. And if you're someone who likes to react to sell walls like I do, you just look at the order books, lower your decimals as much as you possibly can, so it's not crazy flashy, and then you can see, okay, there's a giant sell wall here, so I'm going to undercut them to make sure that I get out before they do. And that could allow you to be a passive trader and still guarantee your exit when the market has giant sell walls. All right, so closing half now. Now that's closed. I don't like that sell pressure wick. It's about half the size of this candle. So I'm out and half's out. 0.48%. 4.8% gain. 10x leverage. I got 25% left remaining in this trade. I think I might let it ride. I'm not sure what you guys want to do, but I think I might let this ride. My stop loss is at break even. It's impossible for me to lose money now. Some of you might not know this, but when you see a sell wick like this, it's not always a bearish thing. Because sell walls have been eliminated, right? So so long as we maintain this momentum, we can anticipate less resistance here because there are less people out there with limit walls selling against us. It all really does depend on this momentum. Like if we lose this momentum, then there's going to be traders who are going to have a bearish reaction to this, and they're going to sell their spot or they're start shorting, and then we'll start going back down to the bottom of the valley area. Around here, we can anticipate a support bounce, and then this is the macro support level. Mine closed at 0.4. The new stop loss is at break even now. And I'm 75% of the trade. Phantom, Jeremy. Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at Phantom while we wait for this. FTM, USDT. Okay. Well, Phantom is breaking horizontal resistance. I don't normally trade off of these, but they're called frying pan formations. Believe it or not, you can look it up if you don't believe me. They exist. So Phantom broke this downtrending momentum, broke horizontal resistance. It's got a decent parabolic curve. We got confirmation bounce off this double bottom. It's already hit the double bottom's technical target. Macro wise, it just bounced off of its local support level. Let's see what it's looking at for its resistance. I want to see what this looks like in the 4-hour. 1 second. Okay, it's tweezer top. I was wondering what that looked like. So we've got. Get rid of that short position. Okay, so as a goal for entering on this one, would be to try to reach the top of this resistance level, kind of like what we were doing with XRP, entering off a small double bottom, but with the target of the top of the formation, right? And this is definitely looking like it's, oh, look at that, crazy recovery. All right. All right. Now we can zoom in on the lower time frames. That would be audit the larger time frames. You always want to audit the larger time frames before you dive into lower time frames to see what kind of influence the stronger levels of resistance and support have on your trade. Because you might have a technical target that could bring you way up here, but if there's like a daily resistance that's coming through this, then you can't anticipate that kind of target. So uptrending momentum so far is here. So if you were to enter a long position on this horizontal resistance break, you want to map this momentum to help dictate whether or not you should be exiting your trade sooner rather than later. I like that we had the scoop because these usually come with a lot of bullish momentum. Yeah, we got this point control active support. So I would want to wait for, personally, a confirmation bounce off of this level. We might not get it with this momentum, actually. When momentum is steep like this, normally you wouldn't have a confirmation bounce. Just so you guys are aware, if you're trying to learn while you earn here, you might not come back. You might not see a confirmation bounce until momentum is lost. So if someone were to enter a breakout trade from the first 15-minute candle close above this, once you lose this momentum, you'd close it, and you can actually anticipate potentially a better entry if we have this honored as support. And once it's honored as support, then you can use the confirmation bounce's most recent swing low for your stop loss location. Nothing to jump on for Phantom yet, though. Maybe in 15 minutes. We'll take a look there, but how long has it been pumping? 5 hours. Sol almost in a big valley. Let's take a look at Sol. Oh, Cody pumped. Let's take a look at Cody and Sol. Cody peeking at XRP. All right, guys. I think we should be done. Cody. Oh, it's getting above this neckline. Nice. So if you got on this falling wedge, good job. Falling wedges are extremely important to watch if you're someone who's learning how to trade double bottom formations, because they are usually the center point of the of a double bottom. So when they break to the upside, it could be an early entry for the double bottom breakout. So because we're late, we actually have to wait until we get a candle close above this. Then we have a technical target. Of 0.811. Those who are watching this have already entered right about here when this candle closed and have their stop loss right here. If you're in on this trade for any reason, that's why you want me to bring it up, then I would stay in it until see how it reacts here. We got about 15 minutes left on that. I don't think I'd want to do this one for the challenge myself. If we zoom out, I just want to see if there's any resistance that you got to watch out for. Well, we broke that. Awesome. Well, maybe I do want to enter this one. Let's go to the daily now. All right, good. All right, we're still going up for the XRP. Sorry if I'm flashing back and forth between screen, guys. Okay, so Cody, now that we got everything mapped out for Cody, we got a double bottom near daily support, which is much more relevant now. So we're definitely thinking about entering this one now. This trend line isn't perfect on this time frame, but that's why you have to wait for the daily confirmation, not like an hourly confirmation, that kind of scenario. Because we have full bodies of the hourly below it. Let's see. All right, so I might enter this. As a professional trader, your goal is to look for reasons not to enter a trade, not for reasons to enter a trade. And that prevents you from over trading. So you got local resistance. This might actually allow us to see a confirmation bounce off of this level. Like, we're breaking two levels of resistance simultaneously right now. We have this downtrending level of resistance that broke. We have this horizontal level of resistance that broke. While in confluence with all that, we got a support bounce, a double bottom support bounce off of this daily support level. So yeah, I'm gonna wait, see how it reacts to this red trend line that we got drawn from the local resistance. And if it gets rejection, then I'm gonna see if there's going to be a confirmation bounce, and then I'll enter off the confirmation bounce instead. But the technical target overall, based on the momentum of this indicator, this formation is up here. But we could see continuations that allow us to go to this downtrending resistance so it can be retested. Because if you understand the psychology of traders, resistance, believe it or not, is kind of like a price action magnet, because it shows other traders limitations to their buyer potential, right? So we can have pump, pump, pump until we hit resistance, and then all those people that were pumping the asset will be escaping the market and causing it to reverse. Let's see, check which pair, please. Can't see it clearly. Oh, we're looking right now at COTI, like COTI, for a double bottom. We're not entering anything on it yet. Right now we're in on a trade for XRP. Exceeded our target so far, and I got about 25% left of the trade still in it. I'm basically banking on this resistance to break. We barely kept the momentum here, but we got it saved from this candle. See how it goes. Check IMX. Yes, we'll check IMX. I do want to come back to Cody though. Just try to remind me. Let's see. Yeah, about 7 minutes left before we need to look at Cody though. All right, so we got this horizontal resistance that's clearly in our face here. We can draw around this value area. Try to get around the value area wall here. All right, I'm going to zoom out in the daily. Okay, so the last trade I did was this momentum break. I don't know actually, I don't know if I traded that. So the one thing I like that it broke this macro downtrending resistance since it's the creation of the asset. What I don't like right now is that we have a rounded top, and it could create, yeah, it also kind of looks like it confirmed a head and shoulders behavior. Shoulder, head, shoulder, broke, confirmed support to flip as resistance. And We have yet to meet the technical target. But we're at a strong point of control. And for those of you, who trade with InvestiShare, the point of control is like an area that you gotta watch like a hawk, because it can change the ability for an asset to hit its target. Short term, it's actually looking bullish. Longer term, it's looking bearish. Downtrending resistance here. Basically, yeah, this is a range trading opportunity until we break out of this range. The moment we see the range act as support or resistance, then you can stop your range trading. If we break out of this, we don't have actually we don't really have a decent structure to measure the momentum other than maybe this double bottom. Like, I wouldn't call this, yeah. There's nothing I want to jump in on with IMX. If we break this downtrending level of resistance, I'll definitely do a reactional trade. So if we break this resistance here, preferably, what time frame can we use? We can't use the 15-minute. We can use the hourly. Yeah. So we can use the hourly time frame. The 15-minute would force you to wait longer. So if we get an hourly candle close above this downtrending resistance, you can enter along, and then you'd have to react to these interest zones here, where they could potentially act as resistance. But your goal is ultimately to see price action get inside these value areas and consolidate, build a formation, and that formation can dictate whether it continues to go to the upside or the downside when the support or resistance is broken. But right now, nothing to jump in on. If we enter a trade and it's making more than the amount of the trade goal, is it okay that we stay in the trade and just try to make a mount target for? You could, yeah, honestly, yeah, you can do whatever you like. I'm just showing you what I'm doing in order for me to get to that goal. You guys can do whatever you like on your own, especially if it means it makes you more money. If you can jump 5 levels because you found a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio trade, I would actually prefer if, as a trader, that you do stuff like that. Like right now we are only probably just gonna be barely shifting from the first level in the competition to the next level, from maybe 1 to 2. But if you can jump from 1 to 5, then awesome, good job. There are going to be trade scenarios during these live events that we might find like a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 6 risk reward ratio trade. Those trades usually take longer for them to hit the target, but it could ultimately get us to finish this challenge in less than 41 trades, because our goal is to get it done in 41 trades to get to 50K. But if the market allows it, we can do it in less. But it'll be healthy if you guys did it within 50 to 60 trades, just so you know. Like, you don't have to do it in 41, and you don't have to do it in less than 41. The goal is only to move between that. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading through the chat, guys, if you're wondering why I'm looking this way. No problem. If NIR refuses to close above that resistance, can we anticipate a shortable rejection? Let's see how safe it is. Yeah, we're barely getting above this. We don't have a structural rejection yet, but we are starting to lose momentum, guys. This candle has to close above this line, and it has surprised us a couple times. We thought we might have had to get out here, but we saw the price action. It was crazy. All right, let's look at near again, just so I can answer that question properly. Near USDT. We looked at a lot of assets today, so I just want to make sure it's still safe. Okay, yeah, you could so I'm looking at the hourly. Let's zoom in. For a short-term trade like this, you're going to have to use a lower time frame. But what I would want you to wait for before entering a short on near is to lose this momentum here. Because we were talking about how you can just enter a long if we broke above this. The same kind of scenario if we broke below this for a short. If we break below this for a short, the great part is you're going to have a measurable target when we revisit this point of control where the support level is. This is the location where you're going to most likely you might have to close half. If when you start measuring the downtrending momentum, if it goes against you, you'll have to close half or the full trade. But if we break below this neckline, we've created a head and not a head shoulders, a double top formation. And the double top, here's the left side, right side. It'll come down. If we lose this point control, we have it act as resistance. The technical target is the bottom of the formation. You can draw this trend line here, and you can see what I mean. Right? Where the neckline meets from the support level to the resistance level, drag it down here, you get the target. The target is support level. So you got a lot of confluence saying that when the target is met, you're likely going to see a bounce. Because the people that short off this double top are going to react to closing their shorts and create a bullish response. But it'll be just as likely for us not to lose this momentum and we break this resistance. If we get a 15-minute candle close above this, you can enter a long for a breakout trade and hopefully sweep through this valley to the next area of interest at 188. But yeah, good call, man. It's looking like it could potentially be a short opportunity. Yeah, I'm closing this full trade, guys. Yeah, I'm out. It's like here. Cool. No problem. We all been there having a group to work through a competition to find plans. Like, this is so helpful. Yeah, yeah. I just want to just look through the chat. Did I miss anything? Can you look at Algo? I missed Algo, so we can see. Oh, and I missed Sol too. So I'll take a look at Solana and Algorand. But I'm out of this trade, just so you guys know. I'm 100% out now. Yeah, 0.49. So for anyone who jumped in on this, congratulations on your first win. We got 3 exits within this. Pretty fun. All right, so now let's take a look at the other 2 assets. And I think I'm going to be done for the live today. We've been on for 2 hours now. And I've got tons of stuff to do for InvestiShare that I like. Yeah. But yeah, let's take a look. Anything you guys want me to look at before we close this live, just post it now in the chat and we can look at it together. In case you're in existing trades that you want me to take a look at and see if it's safe or not to be in it. So first, I'm going to look at Solana because that was asked a few times already. Do we have a Solana chart? I think we have a Solana chart in InvestiShare. I feel like we do. Let's look here, guys. We do. Okay. Let's take a peek at that. Sell strong buy. Oh, these are all out of date. April 30th. We got frying pan type situation with Solana. With this chart, I've got 200 EMA mapped out on the hourly. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour. Just want to take a peek at macro resistance levels that can influence a trade. Screw it. Let's go to the daily too. Yeah. It's one that we used to trade a lot more before the whole FTX event. When the FTX collapsed, it took a lot of Solana liquidity. Kind of robbed Solana of, like, you know, everyone was robbed in a way. So we were tracking this momentum here, pump, 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 trade every single pump we could find, with tons of continuation patterns to trade off of. And then we had a momentum here to follow as well. So once that momentum was lost, we knew that it was either going to consolidate or a new formation is going to be born to let us know that we're going to go to the upside or to the downside. But here we got this uptrend level support. You can watch. I'm going to get rid of some of this noise. I'm going to box around the value area. So if we broke to the downside, then we know that we have to watch this value area here that can cause a support bounce. So as a confirmation trader, I would prefer to wait for the confirmation bounce for this one and see if this acts as resistance. And then during that moment, I would enter a short and see if that momentum is strong enough to break out of this value area and sweep through this valley right here, and then watch this act as potential support where it has here and resistance here and here. Now, short term, we might not actually get that break to the downside. So if we go to the short time frames, because right now we're on the daily time frame, I'll go to the hourly. Here we want to get above this local point of control here, which we have. Awesome. And I'm just going to map this out a little bit. I'm going to undo that move. I moved the, you guys didn't see it, but I moved the whole, the value area box I drew on the daily. Okay, cool. Did it again. I gotta lock that, or it's just gonna drive me crazy. Yeah, let me just give me a second here, guys. I just gotta lock this box to keep me from dragging around my screen. There we go. All right. So hourly confirmation. See if we can use a 15-minute candle. No. So I'd prefer if you wait for an hourly confirmation above this white line, an hourly candle close, and you can anticipate price action to sweep this valley and hit this local support level before consolidating. Local support flipping as resistance. And let's see. And then you have this momentum that you can trail to. Nothing we can jump in on now, but something you definitely want to keep an eye on. And this is going to be the momentum that you would use to tell you whether or not you should close a portion of your trade or not. What was the other asset that we need to take a look at? How did you guys make so much? I followed Kyle's trades. They could have used more leverage. Made $2. Okay. And I'll be sharing my, like, I'll be copy and pasting the CSV records for these trades too, and putting it in a separate sheet. And I'll send you guys that sheet so we can see where I'm at with this challenge too. And I actually forgot to use passive AI for this trade. I'm sorry, guys. Anyone who's using passive AI, it's basically a copy trader for the competition. So if I enter a long, it will enter everyone else into the same long. Cody again? Yeah, we could take a look at Cody again. Well, near looking close. Cody USDT. Oh, it's confirming the support. I mean, the resistance to flip as support. Right off this level here. So I was, yeah, I think that's what I was talking about. I wanted to see a rejection off of this. And maybe you can bring us down to confirm this level of resistance as support. We did break this downtrend resistance as well. So we got a lot of bullish confluence here. Still maintaining that steep momentum though. I don't normally like steep momentum because it gets exhausted pretty quick, but you never know with these lower alt cap trades, right? Oh, cool. Right on. Good job, man. Magic moving. Cody. So Cody, just wait 3 minutes on that one. But that looks like a good opportunity coming up. 3 more minutes. Magic. Okay. You said Magic is moving. I don't remember what we saw on Magic. Yeah, pump. That was quick. Nothing through this. Too late for me to jump in now. We got above this resistance, which is great. So if you're in on Magic, good job. Got a 15-minute candle close above it. So as a breakout trader, you should have entered right when this candle closed. If you're in on this, I'll let you know that a good spot to put your stop loss initially will be below this point of control. If we get above this and this acts as support, then you can start evolving your stop loss below this confirmation bounce. But you want to make sure you have this level of protection first. You want this new layer of protection for your stop loss before moving it to a location where it can get exposed. Because this candle has not been closed yet, and it can go against you really quickly. We're only counting the XRP trade as a challenge, right? Yes. Yeah, because that's the only one I entered in on. We looked at a lot of opportunities, but we only took one opportunity officially. We were looking at this opportunity actually, and for those of you who kept it, because I only can look at one asset at a time for these challenges, just to make it fair. And we don't want to exhaust your funds in multiple trades at once. When we get our count to about 10 grand, we can start doing multiple trades at once and diversifying our risk. But it's crypto, so we're watching all the assets that have a lot of Bitcoin liquidity, so we can see what Bitcoin's doing in terms of the influence over our altcoin trades. And yeah, that way we don't have to use as much leverage if we don't want to. because the altcoins typically have larger percentage moves. With Bitcoin, we're going to be forced to use leverage, at least lately, in order to get the same gains that we want from the altcoin space. Cardano, it's got its confirmation bounce that we were looking at, reaching this resistance. So you prepare to close that Cardano trade if you're in on that. And what was the other asset that I was missing out on? So when we look at Phantom, Solana, Magic, Coty, IMX, we did all that. I think we're all caught up. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump out for now. For those of you who are part of the InvestiShare community, I will be posting a signal very soon for some of these macro moves that we're looking at, because we have some other opportunities that are lining up from these recent movements. And I'll update the description of this live event for you guys, so you can go through the description and then see the links that we're going to be using for tracking the challenge of where we're at, and how many trades we got left, all that stuff, and the notes here. It'll look like this. But you guys will all have access to your own copy of this, but I'll have my own custom one to show you what I'm doing with throughout the challenge, so you can keep up to date with level I'm on. And I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, on Monday, 12:30. One thing you should look out for is I will not be doing these live events during days where we have like FOMC meetings. So in the description of this video, I will also include that calendar, so you can see, okay, there's a USD impacting event, so we shouldn't be trading. I just want to make sure that we're doing everything, properly, so you guys can learn as we, work our way to 50K, right? Do everything by the books, the way it should be done. So we're not going to be trading during FOMC meetings. So next week we got, let's see if we can do it on Monday or not. So we got one bank holiday, one Europe holiday, French bank holiday. So this will be good. We can trade on this day. Will be less volume because we have the European session is going to be a little bit of a drag because we'll have less volume from the bank holiday, but we can still do it on Monday. And let's check Tuesday. Tuesday's good. So all right, cool. So Monday and Tuesday next week, guys. Same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll show you guys all the stuff in the description down below. And now I'm going to try to close this live event because this is the first time I've ever done a live and I could screw it up. All right. All right. So never mind. It's just one button. We're good. All right. See you guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks for jumping on.